Where I am now, I'm better than before. I'm through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace. Where I am now.
Good evening. What a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hi, I'm Yolanda Hinton, host of FYI After Dark. Also, the host of FYI Morning Show Live. FYI Morning Show Live comes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. But our After Dark show are usually on Mondays, but today we have a wonderful special for you all. We're here at 6 p.m. I tell you what, folk are already chiming in. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Look, make sure you all like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As a matter of fact, go over there to YouTube at Crystal Records One, Cristo Records One. You can always go to the newest platform over there, and that's FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow me, and I promise I'll follow you back. Let me mention the sponsors real quick. I want you to go over to www.bulvic.academy.com. That's BULVIC Academy.com. You have some great things over there. We have an anti-bullying initiative, blogs, books, games, an upcoming event. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the show. But you all check out that sponsor. And then we have Beard Gods, www.beardgods, BEARDGODZ. And go over there and get something fly for your husband or your boo or your uncle, daddy, or somebody. Look, I had a comedian over here with us on the other day talking about women and beards. I was like, no, they no, we ain't gonna do that. But look, go over there and get some of the products. A lot of great things, balms. You got oils. You have shampoos, lotions. You got conditioners, vitamins, all kind of things. And look, tell them Yolanda Hinton sent you. Look, this is Hump Day, Wednesday evening, and I tell you what, we have some very, very special guests with us on today. Let's introduce our very special friends. We have Crystal Hinton, who is a school guidance counselor, and we have Miss Femia. Did I get it right?
Almost. Femia.
Femia Christensen. But I tell you what, I'm going to call her Lulu if it's okay with her.
That is absolutely okay with me.
Absolutely. So look, we're here. This is FYI, going back to school tips. And I tell you what, I hope you all are ready because these two ladies are already back there. And I want to know, first of all, look, how do you all feel being back at school? It seems like the summertime just flew by.
Yes, it was not long enough. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited to go back. And I think more so I'm excited because my baby gets to go to school this year. So I'm excited that he gets to start school. So that's been a joyful feeling for me. I don't mind going back now.
Crystal, are you ready?
I guess I have to be ready.
Well, didn't it seem like the school, not the school year, but the summer, it seemed like it went by so quick.
It seems like for some reason after 4th of July, it just goes by really, really fast.
Yes. So, did you get a chance to do some of the things you wanted to do for the summer though?
Yes, I did. I was able to get a lot of rest. What about you, Lulu?
For me, like I said, you heard I have that toddler. So we were on adventures every day, whether it be the library, whether it be going to the pool, the children's museum. So I had a very eventful summer. He did not let me rest.
Wow. Look, do you all ever miss school during the summer? I know I was talking to Chris, and he was saying how Christians sometimes get a little lonely for his friends. And hey, some of them welcome going back to school. You all ever feel like that?
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get a little a little bored, and I miss being at school. And I told myself every other year I would maybe work summer school. So this
Ah,
was my year off. So I'm, Lord willing, thinking about, do I want to work next summer? But I
yeah.
do really enjoy my rest.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I can imagine, especially dealing with children and all
Mhm.
kind of things, parents and routine. You know, by the time you get off for the summer, you all are like probably spending a lot of times like the children do sleeping.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. So look, the kids are not back yet, but they will be going coming back. What in the following this week? This next week
Monday.
coming up?
Monday. Yes.
Are they ready? I wonder. Are the kids ready? Let's kind of like have a conversation about uh, kids for a second, and how teachers and counselors help them to kind of like smoothly adjust to the new school year. What are some of the things that you all have noticed, or what are some of the things that you all do to, establish a routine or maintain a secure environment for the kids? What happens first?
I would say for me, from the teacher standpoint, so we do a lot of the icebreakers, getting to know me. I like to do a find someone who, like a little bingo game where they hopefully talk to everyone in the classroom, and they find out that they have a lot of things in common with each other. Or I like to do a game called Just Like Me. And I'll start off and I'll say, "Oh, I have a sister." And they're raising their hand, "Oh, just like me." And then I give them a chance to say things that might be just like them. And they notice, like I said, that they have more in common with maybe some people that are new faces for them. Because some of them, they probably been in the same classes or different classes, but they've seen each other around the school. They probably just never have talked. So it gives them a chance with the icebreakers to get to know each other, or get to know someone new that they might not have met before.
Yes, Krista, what do you think?
Well, as a school counselor, building rapport is very, very important. So it's important for me to be visible in the building, try to, learn the kids' names, be in the cafeteria, just being available to them, letting them know my role.
Yes.
So they know who to come to and talk to, when they're dealing with any kind of issues. So building rapport, especially that first week of school, is very, very important.
Tell us a little bit about the first week anyway. How hectic is it, or how school does it really go?
So the first week for us, honestly, like I said, it's a bunch of icebreakers. I like to take them on a tour around the school. So like they say, they'll know who the school counselor is, where the nurse's office is, cafeteria, especially if they're new to the school. And I like to, take them on a tour around my classroom so that they know where things are, because I like to have a community space for them, like where they feel comfortable. They don't always have to ask me to get up and get a tissue, get a pencil, because they know where the things are. I want them to make it like their little home away from home.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
And I
grade do you teach?
I teach third grade, and we're departmentalized. So I teach math, science, and history, and then they have another teacher that they go to that teaches them reading and writing.
Okay. Crystal, is it that smooth? Is it just a matter of them just coming in and everything just falls in place?
Well, we try to establish rules and expectations day one. But we also have this thing called a discipline assembly. Hopefully, mostly all schools do this,
Hmm.
but I can only talk about, the school that we're at. But we have a discipline assembly, and we go over the expectations and rules the first week of school, so they know what we expect of them. They know that they're supposed to walk on the right side of the hallway. They know that when they go into the restroom, they need to go do their business, flush your toilet, wash your hands, and return back to class. They know that when they're in the cafeteria, they need to use their manners. They need to make sure that they have everything they need before they sit down. And if they need anything, raise their hand. So we provide those expectations the first week of school so they know what we expect of them.
What things do come up, in schools, during that first week? What kind of things do you all have to deal with kind of unexpectedly, or what things can go, a little bit left?
I know
For
for me,
Oh, go ahead.
okay. Um, it's, normal to feel nervous on the first day of school. I mean, I get nervous at times
Mhm.
too. So, the students being nervous, especially the little ones, because we have pre-K 3 all the way to
Yes.
fifth. And so we have our pre-K students that, this is their first time in a school building. So they are crying. Our kindergartners sometimes are crying, but just making sure that they know that we are there to support them, to help them. Sometimes we got to give out hugs, and sometimes we got to
Yes.
hold some hands. And but ultimately, they're able to get through the day and ready to come back the next day.
Very good. Lulu, what do you think?
I think for me is okay, so of course we get our class roster before we start, so we know who's in our class. But then of course, people might transfer over and then they just put them into our classroom. So it's like we don't want to turn them away and make them not feel welcome. So having to welcome somebody in and amongst trying to get the other students that you already have in there established and seated, and then learning how everyone gets home. Because so what we do at meet and greet, they're supposed to fill out like the little transportation roster, so we know on the first day of school how your child gets home. But if, like I said, if it's a brand new student that I'm getting, I don't know how to get home unless I talk to that
Yes.
parent in some type of capacity, which hopefully is done, well before the end of the day. So I think just getting the new students that I wasn't really aware of I was getting until that day.
Absolutely. Look, I want to just shout out a few people over here on TikTok, and I want to encourage those over here, all of you all on social media, if you have any questions for our guests, please put it in the chat, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Just want to say hi to Lisa's up here, Jacqueline, Bali, Oni, Freddie, Betty, Gary, Jimmy, Joseph, look like Gugu. How you doing, Gugu? Cornelius, Valerie. So many of you all are on. I am going to come back a little bit later, and I'm going to shout a few more of you all out. If you have any questions, again, make sure you put it in the chat. So look, we've talked about the little children coming back to school, baby. You all don't just have to deal with children; you have to deal with parents.
Mhm.
How smooth is it for parents to transition to their kids transitioning into the school? Sometimes for the first time, sometimes transfer students, or what is that? Uh, how is it? What is that thing with parents and counselors and teachers? How does that get to be smooth throughout the school year? Chris,
Well, for one, we let the parents know that we are an open book where anything that you need, any support services that you need, we're here to help. So you can call us. We use this thing called Class Dojo, so they can dojo the teachers. They can set appointments to talk to the staff. We try to communicate to the parents in many different ways, whether it's newsletters. We always have events where we are asking parents to come to the school to participate, because we want to form community, not only with the students but also with the parents. So open house, family nights. When your school is having those things, parents, make sure that you participate, because it's important for us to have that kind of community in the school buildings, and it helps us build rapport not only with the children but also with the parents.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I was gonna say to piggyback off what she just said, like and getting like the background checks needed to volunteer. So when
Yeah.
field trips come up, you're able to go on the field trip with your child, or if there's ever something happening at the school, you're able to come out and help. Whether it be, not even just family nights. Maybe we have the science fair, and they always need judges for the science fairs. And if you already have your background check, you're free to come into the school to help and to be around the other kids. But also, like she said, with the class dojo, and I've had some parents already message me. Once I add your child to my class, then we have a line of communication, which acts as a text message because it comes straight to my phone. But also, I called the parents to tell them about meet and greet, and a lot of them were actually happy, just to hear my voice and to hear, oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm excited. I'm glad you called. So I do like that part as well. And then like we said, when we get the new ones, they walk them down to the classroom sometimes. So I get to meet some of them face to face if they didn't get to come to meet and greet.
How important is it to send your children out, with a certain, uh, attitude, or with the rules? Do you all kind of encourage the parents to make sure kids come there, make sure parents give kids the best in the morning? I know sometimes, parents are going out to work, they're a little frustrated. There's some of them hollering, screaming, cussing, and whatnot. I mean, do you all have anything in place that kind of encourages parents to make sure your kids get out in a good, healthy way? Crystal, you think? I mean, I know you all would encourage it, but do you all have anything that kind of like equip our parents to kind of like make sure the kids are getting out, you know, and coming into
Yeah.
school with a positive attitude?
Right. So we definitely promote positive affirmations. Making sure that you talk to your children before they get to school,
Yeah.
making sure that you tell them about having a great day. And then also we reinforce the positive affirmations at school. Just for our school, for example, we do positive affirmations every morning on the morning announcements.
Mm.
So, we want parents, we want them to do their part, but we also do our part with stating our affirmation every morning, saying that we're going to have a positive day. Because if you say it, you start to believe it.
Yes, I like that. Lulu, you think is there anything that you all could do, or parents should keep in mind when they're sending their children out to school?
I think, like you said, they're already having a rough morning and whatnot. The kids pick up on that energy and they might bring it to school. So I know for me, like if I notice they come in that way, I'll probably try to stop and talk to them and say, hey, did something happen this morning? Do you want to talk about it? Or, do you just need to go to the restroom, come back for a minute? Or maybe the parents might send me a message on Dojo and say, hey, we had a rough morning, whatever the case, tell them, I apologize. Let's have a better day. And maybe they just need to call and talk to the parent. And, maybe it'll help both of them have a better day once they get to talk to each other. Maybe they start off on the wrong foot. Now you had time to reflect because your child has gone off to school. So now you're like, okay, you know what? I probably need to dial it back. So, I don't mind that part. But like you said, I would encourage, the positivity from the parents as well. um Even just sending like little dojo messages. We have what's called a class story, posting things up there. It's like our Facebook for the school with class
Hmm.
dojo. So posting things that might be happening, and just a little smiling face or a positive message for them to see.
Are PTA
And oh,
meetings still the same? Go ahead, Crystal.
oh,
And
I just wanted to add, not just in the morning, but we always encourage parents too to ask your child how was their day,
mhm.
Oh, I
how
like that.
how are you feeling, is anyone bothering you? Ask those questions, because a lot of times, they may not share with you right out
Hmm.
what's going on. So just,
Yes,
encouraging them to say, hey, I'm having a good day, or how was your day, makes a big difference.
I love that. Are PTA meetings still the same? Back
Oh,
in the day, you had PTA meetings, and you had parents that were on the board, and kids come and they talk to the teachers with the parents about their grades. Is it still like that now?
well, PTAs can be different from school to school, but for the most
Mm.
part, PTA is, for our parents and for our teachers, to come together. We do a lot of different things after school. They may try to put together some kind of like family nights.
Oh,
It's all about getting the parents in and supporting and helping the school. And it might look different at every school, but the ultimate goal for the PTA is bringing everyone together.
oh,
Right.
that's marvelous. Absolutely. Let's talk about school safety and how teachers and counselors prepare, kids and provide classroom safety tips and bus safety tips and emergency drills and whatnot. How does that work?
So the first week for us, like we said, with the routines, We'll have the fire drills and such in place so they know where to go if we have a fire drill. They know about the routines. And then the safety tips, I think just promoting that just starting from day one. And like Chris already talked about the expectations of how we can keep each other safe. And I know for me, that's one of the things that we start off teaching. Like we going through the rules. How can you be safe at home, in school, or just out in the community? We talk about those type of things, and the kids actually give me, I do like a little sticky note activity, so they give me the ways to be safe in all those environments, so that helps with that part as well.
That's
And then
good.
we also practice tornado drills, bus drills, so the kids know what to do when if something were to happen. And then we explain to them, what's going on. We usually send out communications to the parents.
Mhm.
We had a tornado drill today. This was discussed, or there was a bus drill today. So we try to make sure we also communicate with the parents, so the parents can later talk to the students or their child about, the drill that they had to participate in.
Absolutely. Lulu, can you talk about the use of computers, laptops, and all those kind of things? How do you all, prepare kids to make sure they don't get into anything, online? How do you all kind of manage those devices?
So all of them have Chromebooks, and I want to say maybe I think our lower grades don't use them. So I'm going to speak from my grade level. Every student has a Chromebook, and then we have an application called Lightspeed, so I can see everything that they're on.
Oh,
But NPS already blocks a lot of things that they
Hmm.
shouldn't be on. So if it's something that they can't get on or isn't school appropriate, more than likely NPS has already blocked it. But I can also see it, and I can block it, or I can exit off their screen. I can make sure that they're only on whatever application they should be on. I can make it so it just locks to that screen, that they aren't able to toggle and go to a bunch of different screens. So that's one of the things that helps us with the computer safety. And I like to keep it up at the front, like on my smart board, so I can see every single
wow.
student. And I'll have what's called like web rules. So let's say from 9:30 to 10, they should only be on this site. I can make it so that they're only on that site
Wow.
unless I change it. Because and if they try to get on another site, it automatically blocks it, and it says your teacher does not want you to access this site, and it'll only stay on the site that they're supposed to be on.
And
Wow.
from the counselor's perspective, so we support um, with lessons on how to use online behavior. We also talk about cyberbullying. We
Yes.
talk about basically, things that you put on the internet, you think you delete them and it's still
Hmm.
there. So we
Yes.
talk about the responsibility of being online and protecting your information and reporting things that are not safe, or things that you see that's inappropriate, or if you see somebody on something that's inappropriate. And then also families, for at least our district, they have to sign a form for internet use. So they
Hmm.
go over like the
Oh,
things that you shouldn't be doing, and they have to sign off on those things.
tell us about telephones, cell phones, all this stuff that kids bring. I mean, how in the world do you all manage those things? What are the
Well,
rules?
at our
Oh,
school, in our district, you shouldn't have a cell phone. So we have a no cell phone policy. But
I
of
think it's
course,
the state. No, I
oh,
think it's
well, the state,
Virginia.
yeah. But
Oh,
you know, of course, parents want their children to have cell phones because, some students, when they leave the school, sometimes they may be going home by themselves and they need to communicate with their parents. But, if you put it in your book bag and don't tell anyone and it's off, then we won't know that you have a cell phone.
Right.
okay.
So,
I would
um,
agree with that part. As long as I don't like you're not abusing it, or you're going to text somebody in the bathroom or whatever the case. I like to stress to my students because I mean, just being realistic, we are not going to be able to catch every single cell phone that comes into that building. So, like
Mhm.
Crystal said, as long as it's off and in your backpack, I have no problem with it. And I have some that I guess they don't feel like I guess they trust themselves for it to just be in their backpack. They'll give it to me, and then I give it back to them at the end of the day. And we just make sure it's off. I normally haven't had any issues, with the cell phones as far as my grade level goes. She might have had more experience because she's dealing with the whole school. I'm
Yes.
just dealing with my class. So for my class, that's normally not an issue for me.
Tell me how it plays out in the lunchroom. Is it chaos? Is it like, look, here are the rules. Come in, sit down, eat, and let's go.
Ooh.
Crystal,
Right. That's your
Well, the lunchroom is something else. Oh my goodness. Because,
really?
at that's their time where they're free to talk and
Mhm.
they're just, being able to be around their friends in their classroom. I mean, in the cafeteria. So that's like their free time. And sometimes it can get a little rowdy. Sometimes it can get a little noisy. But we make sure again that we establish expectations and they know how to behave when they're in the cafeteria. Again, they know that they shouldn't be getting up out of their seat. Of course, no fighting. And then like any school, most schools have cameras in the cafeteria. So, if
Oh,
something were to go wrong, we can easily pull the cameras. And what I try to stress to the kids all the time, there are cameras everywhere. There are
Mhm.
cameras on the bus, there are cameras in the hallway, there are cameras in the cafeteria. So, we can see what's going on.
Right.
absolutely. How great is technology in this day and time? Because you all have been in the school system for a while. You've seen it kind of transition from, no technology or little technology to where it is now. How helpful is it, and how are you all enjoying technology?
Well, I know for me, I started uh when the classes were taking their classes to the computer lab. We
Mm.
no longer have a computer lab because everybody has their own Chromebooks, and even in
Yeah.
kindergarten, they have their own Chromebooks. Every grade level, except for pre-K, they have their own Chromebooks. So no need for the computer lab. So you can definitely see things changing a whole lot. They have a lot more like games and activities, learning
Yes.
activities that they can go on. So I definitely see a change from when I started 17 years ago.
Yeah.
How
I
you
would
think, Lulu?
I would say for me, I didn't come in when they were going to the computer lab, but I did come in where I think I only had two computers in my classroom.
Mhm.
And so it was like a station for my kids versus
Mhm.
now everybody can get on at the same time. So of course that cut down on some of the it was my turn. No, it was my turn. So it cuts
Yeah.
down on that. But it also helps, like Crystal just mentioned, as far as like the educational apps that are up there. So I like somewhere I can collaborate with them. I might put something on the board, and since everyone has a Chromebook, everyone can chime in on
Mhm.
whatever we may be working on. And I can share some of their screens so I can show what they're doing on their Chromebooks or show how
Yes.
they might have gotten the answer. So I think it has improved. Of course, like everything, it has pros and cons.
Yes.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I would say it has helped us now in the schools.
Very,
Definitely.
very good. Let's get back to bullying again. Bullying is a problem everywhere. Bullying, when you find folk, you find bullying in schools. I'm sure it's there. What kind of programs do you all have in place for bullying, especially during October Anti-Bullying Month?
Yes, in October we definitely we promote bullying awareness in our schools. I do lessons, we do different activities. Sometimes we have pet rallies, so students know that bullying is not allowed at our school. We go over the different types of bullying. We go over what to do if you're being bullied, who to report it to. We have posters all over the school that if you need someone to talk to, who to go to. We have different ways that you can um, report bullying. So we always stress, if you're being bullied, you see bullying, speak up and say something.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Let's talk about teachers and counselors and self care, baby. Because I can
Mhm.
imagine, dealing with the stress and school and with the rules and kids. You all do a lot, and I can imagine some of the things that would kind of like take away your energy and your patience and things like that. What's in place for you all? Anything that you all do when you come together, or how do you all survive in the environment of school?
I think the time like this week, although we're getting prepared for the kids, we've been doing like little team building things where we are, since we don't have 30 minutes for lunch, we're able to go out and sit down and have lunch together with probably, team or people that we wouldn't normally have because they teach a different grade, or like she's the counselor and I teach, so I don't always get to see her because like I said, she's dealing with the whole school. So we get to sit down and be with each other. Or I think our principal does a really good job of, pouring back into us. Like on Monday, I think she provided breakfast with us, and I think tomorrow, we're getting provided lunch. And then today she just gave us like little snacks in between because she's like, you all are probably hungry. Here's some little snacks for you. And then too, I think just having time for me, like when my kids go to resource, if I don't have planning, that's my time to just decompress, even if it is just for 45 minutes, just to have a little break.
Yes. And Crystal, since you deal with the whole school, what are some of the things that you do to kind of survive in the environment?
Well, I think it's important for when you are off, you are off.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, when I first started, sometimes I would take work home with me, and I told myself, no, if
Yep.
it can't get done during the school day, then it'll be there tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So, having boundaries when
Yeah.
it comes to your work, have work at work, and when you're home, let that be your peace. The same for the weekends. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Even on the weekdays, if you want to have fun. I enjoy doing stuff on Thursdays, Thursday nights. So Thursdays on the weekends, enjoy yourself. Do something fun. I like to get a massage. I like to do things like that. But when I'm at home, I like it to be my peace, and I will answer your email when I get back to work. I will take your call the next day.
Yes. And look, piggybacking off what she just said, yes, boundaries. Like we talked about Class Dojo, it comes to my phone after 5 o'clock. No, those are my quiet hours, and it will tell them on Class Dojo. The teacher has enforced quiet hours. She will see this message tomorrow. My email notifications. Oh, I'm not getting anything dealing with the school while I'm on summer vacation.
Yes. They provide workshops and seminars for you all as well, and trips. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we go to conferences and such.
Yeah. And sometimes we hear parents complain, the kids always off. The kids always got a break. Well, when they're on their break, a lot of times we're doing things for the students.
Mm-hmm.
We're having professional development, learning different things.
Mm-hmm.
So we're constantly learning as well. And so sometimes we have to have the kids off so we can do the trainings that we have to do. Of course, sometimes we are able to go to conferences. We love going to conferences. We learn so many things from people from all over the country when we go to the different conferences, and we're able to bring it back to our school. I know Ms. Christensen or Lulu, we've got on many conferences together, and we have a great time. We were able to go to Ron Clark Academy. That's a really popular school in Atlanta, and we were able to shadow and learn from him, his teachers, and the students there. So it's always great to learn new strategies and new things because education is always changing, and we want to be in the times too. A lot of things are always trending. Lulu and I was just talking about like certain songs that they use now that are trending, and we want to keep the kids excited about learning.
Right.
And we want to be able to kind of like meet them where they are as well when it comes to education, because we don't want to bore them. So we try to stay in the know with things that are going on. So yeah.
You all tell me the purpose of uniforms. I noticed that your school does they wear uniforms. Tell me the reason behind.
I would think, just that's one less distraction.
Yeah.
You're not worried about something that somebody else has on because all of y'all have on the same things.
Yeah.
I was just telling somebody today, now that you mentioned that, I said, I wish we wore uniforms because to me, that takes me the longest time. Like, what am I going to wear? So if I had to wear a uniform, I would actually be easily able to just get up and put on my clothes versus like, what am I gonna wear today? I want a
Yes,
uniform, to be honest.
yes. Because you know what? One thing I've learned and I've started doing already this year, I've been taking my clothes out at night.
Mhm.
So I'm not struggling in the morning to try to figure out what I'm going to wear. But I
Right.
just think it's important, that's something that the kids don't have to focus on, parents don't have to focus on. They know that every day that they're going to wear this particular uniform.
Mhm.
Um and so it makes it easier, and then it cuts down on bullying, even though sometimes the kids can still find things. But it does make it easier when it comes to children and learning, and that's one less thing they have to really worry about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Somebody up here on let me get the question. They want to know about summer school. Do all schools have summer school now, or is summer school the thing of the past? They want to know if this is going to be something that I guess
Oh, well,
schools will always have.
I know for our district, we have summer school, and
Mhm.
we provide summer school and summer programs for our students. So I think that summer school is probably going to be around for a while, because sometimes students still need that extra help after
Right.
after school ends. Um, so that's something that we still continue to do.
I
What
think it
about
just might be. I'm sorry, I
mhm.
didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say I think it just might be for certain grade levels. Like, what
Yeah.
is our summer school started? Does it start at first or does it start at K
Well, we actually with our what last
or
year
the
we
second?
it started at pre-K 4. Like sometimes they start adding grade
Oh,
levels.
okay, as they see the need
Uh-huh.
grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
My question is about homework. Is that a thing of the past? I heard somebody mention that, kids, uh, teachers and schools may be getting away from a lot of homework, or how does that work? Homework on the weekends may be a thing of the past. What is homework for kids like now?
Well, for me, I give them homework. So I give them homework on Monday.
Hmm.
And then it's not due until Friday. So they
Hmm.
really have all week to work on it. So it's not anything that I'm checking daily. I don't check it until the end of the week. And so for me, I'm not one that believes in that it should take them hours to do their homework. So, like I said, it's due at the end of the week. Every day they just get 3 questions. They might get an equation, a word problem, and whatever we're working on that week. So it might be graphing. Let's say we're doing graphics. So they're gonna see a graph. And I like it, and I like to build my homework on as and use it as a reinforcement tool. Whatever we're working on in class, I want them to go home and practice it for homework. And I feel like I make it to the level that it should be able to be done independently, but it also should be able, if they need help with it, the parents should be able to help them. And I always tell my parents and encourage them, if it's ever a question about it, dojo me and I can see it, but don't wait till Thursday to dojo me and it's due on Friday and you
Yes,
had it since Monday.
absolutely.
So
Uh, yes.
I would hope it doesn't take them long. So I only give them 3 questions. And I feel like, honestly, if they really wanted to, they could do it all on Monday and the rest of the week is free for them
Wow.
to enjoy time.
Now, have you all heard this? And I just heard this the other day. Somebody told me that they're not failing kids anymore. Is that a myth, baby? Where did somebody get that from?
I don't think they're not failing kids anymore. I think it has to be. I think it's become harder for them to fail. That's what I'll say.
Mm.
But I don't think the whole they're not failing kids anymore. That is a myth. Because there
Yeah.
have been some students that have been retained this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
it's just harder to fail them because of the whole no child left behind type deal.
Yes.
And we try to help them as teachers as much as possible with trying to get the grade up or trying to help them when it comes to doing their work. But sometimes if they don't get it, they just don't get it. But I think too also that taps into the parents having to be on one accord with the teacher. How can I help my child before we're about to get out of school and you're saying, oh, I didn't know my child was failing when your child's been failing for 4 quarters.
Wow.
So I think it is a myth. Yes, they are still.
And you know what? And we have so many ways, so many different forms of communication. At
Hmm.
least for our district, we have this thing called Parent View. So parents have access to a portal where you can see the grades
Mm-hmm.
that
Wow.
the teachers are putting in. So
And
it's
this
not a
you see before the
surprise.
report cards, right?
Yeah, when they
Yes.
get their report card, it shouldn't even be a surprise. Homework or classwork is coming home in their folders. So you're seeing, those things that, okay, oh, see my child got a 50, so making sure it's important for parents to check their book bags, especially the
Mm-hmm.
younger ones.
Yep.
Mhm.
Check the book bags. Usually sometimes I think Lulu, you have like something that they have to sign, like
Yeah,
for their.
so yeah, we get Thursday photos. That's what she's saying. They get so every week they get graded papers sent home.
Wow.
And yeah, they have to sign that they've seen these papers. So when we do conference and such, it's like, well, you signed your name saying you saw these 10s and 13s. So like you said, it shouldn't be a shock when you see the grades. But touching back on what she said with parent view, the parents are able to see these grades before they're coming home with the progress reports or report cards. And because you got some kids that might try to hide it. They took it out on the bus. They
Yes.
done balled it up. So if you have access to parent view, you don't even have to wait for that child to bring it home. And
Mhm.
that gives you another way to reach out to the teacher beforehand. Hey, I noticed their grade in math was slipping. What can we do to get them back on track? What can I do at home to
Wow.
help aid you in school? Or what are you seeing, so we can compare notes? What are you seeing in school, and I can tell you if I'm seeing the same thing at home. So if there's a deeper issue, we know which steps to follow.
Yes. So look, Monday, kid, the kids are coming to school. Are you all ready?
We are ready.
We ready.
Y'all ready?
We
We
are
are ready.
ready.
I'm actually excited about meeting some of them tomorrow. Like I said, I called some parents and I enjoy, just hearing their voices and how they were excited to hear from me.
Yes.
I guess sometimes, just I feel like, we get so far away from just talking to people on the phone because we want to text, we want to send a little video, little meme, or whatever the case. But I think they just like being able to just hear my voice.
Yes.
And some of them sound like they're excited to meet me tomorrow. So I'm excited about tomorrow, just meet and greet in general. Hopefully it's a much better school year for me this year. Last year, whoo, we had a trying time.
It's a trying time, huh?
It's a new year. We're going in with a positive mindset. So I'm excited for Monday. I am.
And I'm
I,
excited. I'm
uh-huh.
excited too. I think a lot of times, like I said earlier, being visible to the students and the parents, because a lot of times, students and especially parents, they may not know exactly what school counselors do, or their purpose and their role. But as a school counselor, I am here to support students, uh, um, their emotional needs, their academic needs, um, anything that they have. And I think also parents need to know that there are so many resources in the building, not only myself with helping kids with their social and emotional needs, but we also have school psychologists, we have school social
Wow.
workers, we got the school nurse, we have OT, we have the physical therapist. We have so many people inside the building that are there to support. And so, if anything, at any school, if you have concerns about maybe tutoring, if you have concerns about
Mhm.
mental health and crisis and
Wow.
homelessness, at least on our district, um, we have two partners that I wanted to talk about really quickly: Care Solace and Virtual Peace of Mind. So, Care Solace is basically a provides students and staff with free confidential coordination for support for mental health. And so they can provide you with different people to see if your child is going through some kind of mental crisis, or just needs someone to talk to. And Virtual Peace of Mind is a counseling service that's virtual, so from your home and at no cost, where they can talk to a counselor any well, before, after, or on the weekends. So there is so much support inside the schools. If anytime a parent needs anything, any help, contact your child's school.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is marvelous. You all are off on a great start. Kids are coming back. It's a joy, I know, when kids come back and they want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They want to learn, they want to be among their peers. And then you all have so many wonderful things set up. I want to say congratulations. But before we go, I want you all to give us some last minute tips for our audience.
All right, so we have 10 tips that we came up with, things that you can do to have a great school year for our kiddies.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start us off. So the first one was to stay organized, use a planner, a calendar, or phone reminders to keep track of assignments and important dates, build good study habits, find a quiet place, limit distractions, and study a little at a time rather than cramming it all in. Get enough sleep.
Yes.
Aim for a consistent sleep schedule. So parents, it's time to put those babies back on a schedule. You not want
Uh-huh.
them sleeping in class, so you can focus and have energy during the day. Attend class regularly. Be present. Being present makes it much easier to keep up with lessons and assignments, which I can adhere to. Yes, ma'am. I tell my kids all the time, the day does not stop because you were not here. So
Yes, that's right.
your work is waiting right for you to finish it when you come back. And the last one that I'll say is do your work on time. Avoid waiting until the last minute, especially for large projects and tests and that homework, like I just talked about.
Yes.
And so also here are my tips. Set clear goals, decide what you want to accomplish academically, socially, and personally. I saw a video, a TikTok video, and the mom asked her daughter, "What's your goals for the school year?" And I loved that. You know, she said she wanted to
Yes.
make good grades, not to get in trouble. So ask your children, what is their goal for the school year? And maybe it could be something that they ask them that question every quarter, you know.
Yes.
Um, ask for help. So talk to your teachers, counselors, classmates. If you are struggling, ask questions, ask for help. Don't be afraid to raise your hand and say, I don't understand. That's why your teacher is there to help you and to support you.
Mhm.
Also, I feel like it's important to get involved. So we have
Yes.
so many different things at the schools. We have clubs, we have sports, we have ways that parents can volunteer. So there's always something to do at the school. So get involved into your child's school and have your children be involved. Also, take care of yourself. We talked about self-care. Learn how to take breaks. Learn how to manage your time, and make things enjoyable. And then my last thing would be stay positive and learn from your mistakes. You know, we always, we stress to the kids, sometimes we may have bad moments, but don't
Mhm.
make that moment ruin your entire day. And
Mhm.
then also we stress that, hey, maybe some things went wrong today, but tomorrow is a new day,
Yes.
Lord willing,
Mhm.
So learn from it, adjust, and keep going.
I tell you what, you all do great things in school. It is so important to have great teachers, great counselors, and I just want to applaud you all for being in there and teaching our children. It's important for us to really give them the education they need, the support they need, and the love they need because a lot of them do need that love too. And I'm sure you all give it. I want to give you all a round of applause, baby. So, look, thank you all so much for being on. I wish you all the best this school year and that you come back and see about us and tell us, how things are going. And just continue to encourage our parents out here, our listeners, and letting them know that school is important and they have to play their part. And you all have all the tools, rules, and regulations to help them do just that. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Wow. So I tell you what, it is marvelous, marvelous, marvelous to have teachers again that and counselors that do, that love kids and they want to do all they can to educate them and make them have a safe space and help them to really get through school and through life. It is just very, very important. You hear a lot of people that are, stars in Hollywood and stuff. They say, "Oh yeah, if it wasn't for this teacher or if it wasn't for this counselor, I wouldn't be where I am." And so it's very important that we support teachers, counselors, schools, get involved, and really have a really positive outlook on the environment, and make sure you all work to have kids be the best they can be. They can be more well-rounded when you're involved, and when you take time to, give them the best. Get them to school with the best attitude. You have a good attitude, and you get them to school with the right attitude. You stay in there. You go to the meetings. You make sure they do their homework. It's up to all of us to make sure this thing called school goes really smooth. So look, I want to shout a few of you all out. A whole lot of folk here. Pretty, yes, yes. I think that's how you do say it. Anna, hello, good evening. Reed, you in South Carolina, Reed? How marvelous! What's going on down there? I haven't been to South Carolina in quite some time. Chirper, I think that's the name. Um, God bless you, ma'am. You saved my life. How was that? That is so beautiful. Also, 3K is here. Um, Somebody said it was a joke. I won't say that because this is a serious subject, and we want you all to take it serious. I'm not going to tell you what that says. Somebody asked what the topic of discussion. We're talking about back to school tips, and if you have children, it's important that they, are back in an environment that's safe, safety, because I tell you what, some things can go wrong. And we want everything to go right when these kids are going back into this environment and everything. Yeah, Dan, you make sure you follow me back. I'll follow you as well. Um, I'm going to spell this one Seygaaniso. Hello, G Man 6, what's going on? Pretty and Slim, hello, hello, hello. K, here's another one, KIA, Kaya, I believe, Kaya Y. I can't see the rest is going by. Master J, what's going on? Let me shout somebody. I think it's somebody over here. Over here, yes, on Instagram, Newark, Jersey 37. How are you? Facebook. Say something in the chat so I can make sure I respond to you later. I can't see everybody over there, but LinkedIn and Twitter, make sure you all say something in the chat. I would love to send you some love. So look, I just again want to thank our special guests, Ms. Christensen and Ms. Hinton, for being here, taking their time to show us and tell us what it takes to really to have a great school and to prepare children and parents for the new school year. It's coming up quick. Some kids are already in school. The school that they're in, kids are coming back, I believe, on the 24th. And so, yeah, so we want them to have a wonderful school year. Make sure you do your part and make sure, you really, really encourage those that have to teach our youngins. Jerome, what's going on? Queen, never cry. How are you? Denise, I believe that's Deniz. What's up? T Strongman, how are you doing? So many of you all on. Adam, hi. Let's see, Pat, what's going on? ALAE, I don't know how to pronounce it, but hey, young lady, or young man, Nancy, hey, Jack, hello, Janice, uh, Young, I believe it's it. BB, what's going on, BB? Then we have 914-4714, 41393. Hello, Earl, hey, uh, India, Nida, hello, uh, Raham, hey, Sean, hey, Ren, hello, Omo, Slim, hey, how are you? God bless you. Slim, I need you to come on the show. I need Slim over to to be on the show with me. Maybe we can get together and you can uh, come on and just share some of the things that you're doing and be a part of some of our segments that we have. Tammy, what's going on? It's just so many of you all. 3K, Keith, um, let's see, just everybody. Dolores, Alan Hay, Lumpkin Hay. It's just so many on. I just thank you all for joining me. Lisa, thank you for your support. Look, don't forget to join me on Fun Friday. We're going to have a great show for you all. We got some great upcoming shows for you all. And on Friday, I'll give you all some of our guests that's going to be with us. We'll continue our men's segment, our women's series, our fun summer fun and fun Fridays, our after dark shows, of course. But I will announce these things to you all as we get to them, and hope and pray that you all come and share with me. You all are a blessing. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to see you all on Fun Friday. Make sure you all, enjoy your week. We almost know we are here at Hump Day. You all should be up and popping, baby. Okay, so see you later. Have a
Where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace. Where I am now. Where I am now, I'm better than before. I'm through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place.